Hello everyone, good morning. We are very excited to have you here for the presentation of our game Emoto by Timos. So this is our amazing team. We come from all over the world, and today the presentation will be held by Luchian, Pedro, Anna and myself, Omer.
And what this team has been working on for the past month is Emoto, a single-player adventure horror game targeted at young teenagers. It is played in first person and takes place inside the mind of the main character, which is shown through an almost bizarre cartoon style. Emoto will be playable on both Windows PC and Mac OS.
These are some references from other games that share similarities that we incorporated in our game. Little Nightmares, for example, is more about the atmosphere. Journey is talking about the art style that we share, and SCP references mechanical aspects.
The game starts with the main character trying to fall asleep, looking pretty disturbed and tired, and as they fall asleep, they enter a mind world. In there, they must accomplish the task of finding themselves in order to be able to wake up again.
Everything else in the game represents the emotion of the main character. The levels themselves are a combination of emotions, positive and negative. For example, the level representing anger and love is a romantic garden set on fire. The grass in the form of fangs against the background of the red covering of the earth represents exactly anger. This is another one of the levels, representing fear and excitement. Playing with the light in each of the environments corresponding to each of the emotions helps to enhance this effect and also to have a common idea between all the worlds. In total, we have 3 levels, a hub, and tunnels connecting them. You can check our concept book to see all of them. This is the initial scene of the game, the main character's room. It's supposed to have a more realistic look compared to the dream world, where the rest of the game takes place.
The player can move and look around, collect and use items, and interact with the world in various ways, like pushing buttons and opening doors. The main goal of the game is to collect all of the items hidden throughout the level, while the main threat in the game is the monsters. Each monster has a different behavior, and the player cannot directly fight against them, but some of the items might help. The player should use them to navigate the encounters more easily, but otherwise the idea is to avoid and evade the monsters as much as possible.
As our game is played from a first-person perspective, the only visual aspect of our player is actually his hands. The hands will be holding currently equipped items throughout the games. We designed the hands so they appear genderless, raceless, and also will reflect the colors of Emoto's brands and merge other different emotions as we human have. Our player will deal with different enemies throughout the game. These enemies represent different emotions, and they could be dealt with differently as a person would deal with emotions in real life. Anxiety is represented here with a stress, sleepless, wide-open looking eyes and confused looking face. Sadness is colored blue and surrounded by a puddle of tears. The eyes are looking down and upset, and the expression is depressed and exhausted. Anger is red, is fire bursting, his mouth is open and is full of aggression. It's blind, as humans are sometimes angry and they can't seem to find any reason inside the chaos. Here we have some examples of the 3 enemies and their behaviors when they are animated. The movement of each one of them reflects the characteristics of them in the game. So sadness is dripping on the floor and cannot be uplifted, anger is exploding and shredded to pieces, anxiety moves and jumps restless and stressful.
Throughout the game, you can find 3 varieties of collectibles. The first is Love at First Sight, which has a heartbeat effect. In the middle, Heart-clinching Excitement is a dynamically bright animation. And the last, Memory of Happiness, a glass brain that has the effect of emitting warm yellow light from the inside, which represents these very memories. For visual purposes, we are showing here an example of how all the models look in a scene together. These images stand as a good example of how the game might look in its finished state. It's important for us to keep the interface simple, but not miss the mysterious and emotionally fragile feeling of the game. It was challenging to present all the information that we needed, keeping the minimalistic look. We can say that it's important not to be afraid of your emotions, but simply to learn how to embrace and delve inside them. Thank you!